Hello again, folks. What's the story? This is the rundown for MMA latest news right there. MMAlatestnews.com. Get us on the socials. MMA latest news everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Right, let's get into it. I'm going to go over a few things very quickly of the nonsense of what 223 is, UFC 223. Then I'm going to go and tell you a fight that people are sleeping on and just aren't talking about because of the debacle that was the main event, or that is the main event. And then I'm going to get into my fight of the night, potential fight of the night. The first thing that I want to get into very quickly is, obviously, anyone who is aware knew that Khabib Nurmagomedov was going to fight Tony Ferguson for the lightweight belt. Tony got injured. He is now out. And on a random turn of events, Max, blessed, Holloway has taken the fight on 6 days' notice, which is crazy. But Dave Noseworthy did a video on our YouTube channel, Dave Knows MMA, about that said fight and about the madness of it. So go check that out. The thing that I wanted to bring up about this was how the contendership's working. If you like this sport and you wanted it for the contendership and the level of accolades, and this person now has reached this point, so they're going to fight this person, it's gone. Or essentially, for the most part, it's flappable and very easily moldable and not rigid, because Conor McGregor technically is a double champ, so technically has a lightweight belt even though he doesn't, or have a featherweight belt even though he doesn't, but he has a lightweight belt which he hasn't defended in over 500 days. There's 365 days in a year. You do the math. He's technically still the, but even though they haven't mentioned or said the words that he's going to be stripped, Khabib and Tony were going to fight for the main championship because Tony had the interim title. So it was going to, whoever won the interim title then is the champion, and Conor's probably for the drama is going to come back like, no, mine's the real belt, blah, 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 and then they'll fight. But here's the thing. Now Max Holloway, who is in no contendership at all, is coming up, and instead of just making it a fight, he's now fighting for the legit lightweight belt as well as Khabib. And instead of even doing that weirdness and keeping Tony Ferguson as the interim title holder so he gets the next crack at the champ after he comes back from this, no, they stripped him. And if Max on some mad level wins, then he's not fighting Brian Ortega. He's going to fight Conor next. So the division's held up. So basically, the only thing that I was able to really, get from this is, where's the logic? Where is it? This is the logic police moment, because I don't find any logic. I'm trying to detect it, and there's an absence of it, and I need it. Personally, for the sport, I need it. It's like, where's Wally or where's Waldo? If you're in America, you're looking around, but it's like a cheap jerk version of it. So it's like, it's where's the logic? And you're looking around and you're like, there's no logic here. And they're like, yes, there isn't. That's the point of the book. And you're like, well, throwing that away, get that book away from me. And if the book to you or to this conversation represents title contendership and relevant, advancements in the weight classes, then that's what, scrap it up and throw that in the bin, because it's gone. I hope it comes back, but I just had to point that out, that whatever belts they're fighting for, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Doesn't mean it's not going to be an awesome card and an awesome fight. Right, so let's get into the fight that people are sleeping on, which I can't believe that people are sleeping on. It's getting a bit more attention now, but at the same time, it's still not going to get the attention it should have gotten from the get-go. And is these two awesome women, Rose Namajunas versus Joanna II. Number two, personally, I mean, you take away the fact that we've been waiting for the alleged Khabib-Tony fight for the 4th time. In regards to just watching people fight, I've been dying to see Rose and Joanna II because I don't think it was a fluke that Rose won. Absolutely not. But I do think that Joanna's not going to take her for granted. And as you can see through the some of the embeddeds and stuff, and even on the MMA Hour, she was a lot more calmer, a lot more in herself, a lot more, hey man, it is what it is. Like even she's starting to say it now, you know? Um, and that speaks a lot. And I've been very intrigued to see the two of them because I genuinely think we're gonna get a 4 to 5 rounder, and it's gonna be by far the highest level female fight we'll ever see for the moment in history. It is the highest by a long shot. These two are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Could kick the shit out of some of the dudes. If similar weight class, obviously. Sorry. I love these two girls so much, and this as a fight fan, like, and this is one of those things where being a fight fan's tough, bro. Like it really is, because I want both of these girls to win. I don't want either of them to lose is the better point, but someone has to, and that breaks my heart. And unless we see a real level of zen and a total involvement in a few little things of willingness to take damage, because if you look through Joanna's stuff, she is a bit more willing to take a bit of damage. She'll take 1 or 2 serious shots and then come at you with the flurry. But Rose is getting even better at putting power into her shots, but still being able to stick and move. If you watch actually that bit of the embedded where Pat Barry is just fucking tennis balls at her, and she's like just every single one of them, bang, 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 knocking them out of the air. It's like footwork, everything, power, and she's not winging the whole body. She's able to get the same level of snap, but just from the extension of the arm alone. It's really cool. I really do, for both reasons, see this going for a long time, but I would not be, oh my God, if Rose wins. If Joanna wins, I think it'll be by decision. If Rose wins, she'll stop her. But I don't like to make picks, and I'm not going to make picks. I'm just going to leave it at that. It looks like more than likely, I think Rose is still evolving and still growing, and I think Joanna has had a lot more fights, although not UFC. She's had over 100 Muay Thai fights. Like, she's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. So I don't know how much more of her game she's capable to evolve by, whereas Rose still has a lot to go. So for that reason, I don't think Joanna's gone, and by no means do I think she's spent or anything. I think she still will be at the very, very, very top for a very long time. I think it's going to be a long while before. I don't think the people we're seeing right now are going to be the people who end up cleaning out Joanna and taking her, to the later parts of her career. I think we don't know that girl yet. I think Rose and Joanna will stay in around the top for a while unless one of them decides to move up weight class. But I would, if I was a betting person, I would bet on Rose for the win again, although I couldn't say how. But my hope is it goes to a mad decision of an amazing fight, and then they declare them both winners, a la UFC or Tough, the Ultimate Fighter with I know I did it a few times, but the Stephan Bonner Forrest Griffin one. That's my hope. I just think they're amazing. I think they're bitchin' ass fun. So what's the word? Not tactile, but just viscerally aggressive, but honed and technical at the same time. And they've got so much tenacity, both of them. And to see that level of skill, domination, power, and tactical ability to destroy another human being come from a human who's only so tall and only so large and thin enough, like, petite, kind of. They're not these big hulking people, you know what I mean? They're very yeah, they're ripped in a sense, but at the same time, they're not massive, and they have darling little faces, and to see them just complete put on clinics on people, shutting them down and wrecking shop. It's just one of those wow spectacle, You know, it's like that scene in Ready Player One, spoilers, where they have like one of the bombs they unlock, and it's Chucky the doll, and they're like, as soon as they unlock it, it starts trying to stab them. Like, oh god, throw it out the window. He throws it out the window, and Chucky just starts jumping from person to person to person to person, hacking their necks off. Like, just to see little things, smaller things, just deliver power, damage, and in technician style efficiency is a thing to behold. I can't wait for that, and that's one of my, in my heart, one of the fights I'm looking forward to the most. Now, my friends, let me do this, and yes, we get on to what my opinion is potentially the fight of the night. I really hope these transitions are working. Paul the Irish Dragon Felder versus Raging Ally Iaquinta. Man, when I saw this, first of all, the elation that Raging Ally was fighting again, because for a time period there, you were like, dude, this is like the best MMA hour I've ever heard. This is one of the best fighter rants I've ever heard. This is one of the best street talkers, just telling it like it is, I've ever heard. Man, he's never going to get given a fight in the UFC ever again. They're never going to allow this guy to fight. He's making enemies and burning bridges with every word he's saying. So I was really worried that for a small part he went too far heel against the actual people who make the fights and pay him, as opposed to turning heel against fighters or fans, Ali Kobe Covington. Ali, a la Kobe Covington. Can't speak. Lubricate the mouth. A la Colby Covington. There you go. So, yeah. The fact that I heard he was fighting was like, yay! They gave out some love with his real estate business on the side. It's just such a funny story. Go, if you haven't listened to them, go find Ally Iaquinta, the MMA Hour, and listen to any of them. And it's just brilliant. And he's fighting Paul, the Irish Dragon Felder, who, side note, really good commentator. Like entertaining enough, well learned, able to disseminate the information in both a technical aspect as well as a dumbed down so people like myself know what he's talking about when I'm watching it. And more so, the hardest thing is he's able to play off other people, and he has commentated besides different people, and he's able to play off them, still be himself, and then let them be themselves and keep a flow going. He's surprisingly talented for the little amount of time, at least, that we've seen him do it. But that aside, hellish elbows, destructive, crazy, powerful elbows, both from standing and ground and pound. He is one of those fighters that you look at him and you're like, he can't do much. Or even if he can fight, I bet he's very textbook. He's a brutal, violent fighter who very much looks to injure and just shut you down with physical violence in the most immediate way. Like, you can sit there and you can wrestle and you can punch, whatever, or I can just run in and smash you in the nose with my elbow, which I think he did and dropped some guy. I can't remember who that was, but it was great. These two guys, man, Ally Iaquinta versus Kevin Lee. Go watch that fight. That's one of the best fights ever. Just to watch, maybe not the highest skilled fight, but definitely one of the best fights ever. Just of two men who will not back down and somehow still have the energy to keep going. It's unbelievable. Heart, determination, and grit just displayed right in front of you at its purest form. Check it out. That's the kind of fighter you have in Ally Iaquinta. He hasn't been back in a fight in a while. He's hungry. He, as well, hasn't been taking a lot of licks to the face, which is his usual fight style, so he's going to be quite fresh. Paul Felder hasn't taken too much damage. Dude, this is going to be 3 rounds of absolute crazy destruction. I can guarantee, whether you like it or not, there will be blood. That is UFC 223, and that's only 2 of the fights on a stacked fight card, where from the main event onwards, every one of them could be a headliner. If not for a pay-per-view, at least a Fox. It is going to be nuts this Saturday. Check it out. I've been Dan the Mexican. This has been the rundown. Oh, wait, I'm pointing to nothing. This has been the rundown on MMA latest news. You can do me a solid. And you can go follow me at Dan the Mexican as well. I am also Dan the Mexican on Twitter. And I have that Vero thing too. So thank you for listening. I'll see you next week. Peace.